Your family's long been synonymous with philanthropy. How does a family organize itself to be effective, most effective?
I think, for our family, it went through different stages. When we were coming out of college, my mother made opportunities available. If you came up with an idea, there was a small amount of funding to help get that up off the ground. And it created a program like Best Buddies. My brother Anthony started that. So there was a structure put in place there to help people get interested in the issue that the Kennedy Foundation was solely dedicated to, which was people with developmental disabilities. You had to write a grant. That idea had to be vetted by other family members and voted up and down. And it also had to be vetted by experts in the field of developmental disability. So it wasn't just, I've got an idea, here's some dough to go make it happen. It was really a structured grant application that you had to fill out, you had to really research the issue, and you had to be dedicated to and have a role in the implementation of the idea. So I think my mom very strategically set that up, made those options available, and it created great programs. One here at NYU that my cousin John Kennedy started, training people who are in the field of developmental disabilities, providing services to people that have developmental disabilities. The Choice program, which I started out of college, is still in existence in Maryland today. And obviously Best Buddies that my brother Anthony started is worldwide. So I think that's a great way. She did a great job organizing it and getting that out, and getting us engaged, really.
And if you think about developmental disabilities back when your mother was getting active in this, there really was not a lot of attention brought to that.
No, there was no attention.
Why did she choose that area?
Well, she had a sister, Rosemary, who had developmental disabilities, and she obviously grew up with her, loved her, and wanted her to have some of the same experiences that she did. And she felt that people with developmental disabilities could excel in sports, and that could be a way to break down of breaking down the walls of misunderstanding and prejudice against people with developmental disabilities. So she used to have, over when we were little kids, she would have people with developmental disabilities running around the backyard playing sports. And then she turned that idea into an athletic event, which was held first in Chicago in 1968 and now has blossomed all around the world. You got to remember in the early 60s, and when she first came out and said that a member of the Kennedy family had developmental disabilities, President Kennedy had just gotten elected. And people with developmental disabilities were not as engaged and involved in the community as they are today. They weren't working at stores, they weren't living on their own. They were really shunned and hidden from society. So it took a lot of guts for her to do it. And she didn't take no for an answer. When experts told her that people with developmental disabilities couldn't play team sports, that they couldn't run a 50-yard dash or play soccer or baseball, she said, I don't know quite what she said, but she said, no, I don't believe you. And then she made it happen. So she was really dedicated and focused on making change, and she did. And there's still countries around the world now that don't have people with developmental disabilities in the mainstream. They are isolated and in institutions, locked up. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, not only here in America, but also around the world.
How did you decide when it was the right time for you to get involved, and how did you pick kind of what your emphasis would be?
Well, coming out of college, in college, a couple of my summer jobs were tutoring inner city kids from the Hartford and New Haven public school systems in an Upward Bound program. And I loved it. These were kids that were struggling academically, but that were bright for one reason or another, weren't doing well in school. So I had that experience in college. And then coming out of college, went to work for the governor of Maryland, and he was deinstitutionalizing the juvenile delinquent population. There weren't these community-based programs to help kids get reacquainted into the community and do well after they got out of essentially kid jail, juvenile facilities. And I researched it, found a great program in Massachusetts. A lot of these kids had learning disabilities, and I went out and started a program based on a model out of Massachusetts. And if I had known, how hard it was going to be, I probably wouldn't have done it. I think I was, honestly, I was really naive. I was a 23-year-old with, I think, a good idea, and then worked, about 3 years straight, never taken vacation to get it up off the ground. It was tough, but the program's still around. The Choice program has been replicated in Connecticut and in California. And I've just loved it. I love the work. It's entrepreneurial. It's exciting. That was a startup. Save the Children, I did a turnaround. We had some issues when I was hired. We changed the organization, restructured, brought some new staff in, and grew it. It's a business. But it's a business that's making a profound difference in people's lives, and that's a great business to be in. So I loved it. Very entrepreneurial and exciting.